Why are you voting? What is pushing you to the ballots? What thing or things are highest on your priority list? If anybody watches my videos, they know that Project 2025 hits home. The erosion of women's rights hits home. The erosion of DEI and civil rights hits home for me. But what is pushing you? So this is a tweet from this woman named Holly. She made this tweet. She said, "My daughter, who knows I'm a registered Republican and worked in Idaho politics for Republicans, asked me who I'll be voting for in November. I told her that I simply couldn't vote for a convicted felon nor a rapist. I asked her what kind of message she thinks it would send. The crazy thing about this, I'm glad that she has shifted now. But Trump was talking about his lack of need for consent even early on when he became president. So I'm glad that she's shifting now, but he is the exact same person that he was back then. But regardless, she shifted. She continues with, if we elected a person who was convicted of those things to the highest office in the country. My daughter gets it. I hope the rest of America gets it. If we don't stand for something, we stand for nothing. America matters to me. So does the integrity of the office. This man didn't have integrity when he came in. The way he was fleecing small business owners and basically screwing over entrepreneurs that worked on his properties. He has lied so much. He is a cheater. I don't know why people are so staunchly for him. If integrity was important, why did people vote for him to begin with? Why do people act like he is a Christian? Okay, but anyways, Holly continues, I resolve to dig in my heels to stand for and require decency, integrity, and honor to earn my vote, especially when it comes to the highest office in the USA. It might take an L for some to learn what America requires good character. So be it. It's standing for what's right. But this man has been indecent and a cheater forever. So why, you know what, whatever. Holly is voting not for Trump this time. Holly is voting, it seems like, for Kamala. I'm sorry, Kamala Harris this time. She says, I'm all for second chances in life, but I think the character and judgment of our commander in chief needs to be solid. I don't know how anyone can trust Donald Trump to do better when he hasn't even acknowledged wrongdoing. If we want and are, put forward an electable candidate. She says, I think Reagan's farewell speech illustrates how far we veered away from the principles once held dear. These don't even sound like the same GOP ideals, do they? Ask yourself, is Reagan's shining city on the hill the same as Donald Trump's? I am not a Reagan fan. Reagan started a lot of these issues that were pro business, acting like the trickle down effect would get down to the little people. There are so many issues that Reagan had, so I'm not even worried about this. But she knows and understands that the politics of Republicans has shifted in the past, 30, 40 years. She continues with this quote, in my mind, it was a tall, proud city built on rocks, stronger than oceans, windswept, God blessed, and teeming with people of all kinds living in harmony and peace. A city with free ports that hummed with commerce and creativity. And if there had to be walls, the walls had doors, and the doors were open to anyone with the will and the heart to get here. That's how I saw it, and that's how I still see it. So that is her stance. Now, some of the comments that follow, and since she is a Republican, I'm sure that people are going to be coming for her in a negative way. This person, Americans for Capitalism, says, so a vote for communism. She says, nay, a vote for integrity. Then Americans for Capitalism says, having firsthand experience of what Walz did to the state of Minnesota and seeing what Kamala stands for, I will have to disagree. And Holly says, I will not cast a vote for a rapist nor a 34-time convicted felon. You do you. And then CC says, I live in Minnesota and I'm doing just fine under Walz, FYI. My stepdad, who is a registered Republican and voted for Trump in 2016, is thinking of voting for Kamala because because of the same reasons you stated. Let's get back to having dignity and integrity in the Oval Office. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think about that. I have seen where some Republicans are, casting their votes. They're putting their energy behind Kamala Harris. Have you seen that? I've seen videos. I've seen the post. You let me know what you're seeing on your end. Now I'm shifting gears. This has nothing to do with politics. Meg says to the men, she says, men and long term partnerships and marriages. When is the last time you bought toothpaste, bathroom tissue, kids' seasonal wardrobe needs, your own underwear or socks? The last time you tracked and scheduled the family's dental or eye exams, extended family and friends' birthdays? So she asked this question, and as you can see, it did get some quotes. She says, I'm not trying to be an antagonist or hostile. I don't have to try. It comes naturally with y'all. But honestly, I want to know. And if the question makes you realize your partner does all those things, do you notice? Are you grateful? If you do and are, have you told them? She says, my husband and I have a relatively heteronormative, stereotypically gendered role system, which I love for me. But my husband has always checked in about what's working, what isn't, and says constantly that while his income makes our lives possible, my work makes it happen. She says, being seen makes such a difference. It's hard to watch fellow women condone bad behavior and stifle our silent resentment as the toll we have to pay for all too common imbalance of labor distribution resulting from a system implemented and perpetuated under the patriarchy. So, it's like you do have to work together. A lot of people work really hard inside of the home, and it is many times undervalued and invisible until you stop doing it. But if there is some balance, if there is some validation, if there is some acknowledgement and some participation, then it makes sense for some people. Let's look at some of the quote retweets. Scott says, I am an adult. I buy my bathroom goods in the weekly shop. I buy my own underwear and socks. My wife and I book our own appointments, and I can remember birthdays. What the F is this tweet? He doesn't acknowledge that a lot of men do not do this, and some men do not actively participate in the home. Jason said, women in a long-term relationship, when was the last time you mowed the lawn, changed the tire, fixed the sink, swapped out the garbage disposal, paid the whole mortgage every single month? So instead of addressing what she said, he deflected. The good demon says, not going to lie, and I'm going to get cussed out, but whatever. There's two types of men, ones that's been doing for themselves and ones that haven't. Just like y'all talk about men bringing out the masculine energy, you're going to bring out survival instinct. If I got to do certain I'm going to do it alone. I don't know exactly what that says. He says, if I got to do certain I'm going to do it alone. Does that mean that he's not in a relationship? I don't know. Keek says, I was on maternity leave and my son's dad went and got the toiletries and he came back with a receipt like, you spend this much on cleaning supplies, trash bags, detergent, etc. He was in complete disbelief. I never thought to tally it up. I was just buying my house needed. I think with this type of situation, when somebody else can physically see it, it makes it more real. So I'm glad that that man got the opportunity to see the value in just buying this stuff, not necessarily even the other stuff that goes on in the household. But I do want you guys to weigh in. I didn't do a whole lot of the quote retweets. A lot of it was just men being upset and like saying, how dare you? Yes, I buy bathroom tissue. Yes, I buy my own toothpaste. But weigh in. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So this man named Tyler put out a tweet and it got quoted and retweeted quite a bit. He definitely got some engagement with this. He said, tip for the women. Most of us men really want to help but don't know how. Give us lists. Give us list items weekly so we can take off your plate and we love to help. Guys, ask her, what can I take off your plate today? The key is solid communication around this. We can't read minds. And it boggles my mind that these most logical leaders cannot look around the house and see things that need to be done, dishes that need to be washed, laundry that needs to be put into the washing machine and then put into the dryer. These most logical leaders that will come onto our pages and let us know that they built the world and they can do this and they can do that, but they don't know how to live in a clean home that they find comfortable, unless they really do like to live in a pigsty. And then that's a whole nother thing. But aren't we tired of the mixed messaging? How are these most logical leaders the ones that need the most help when it comes to doing things like wiping down the toilet? It's just mind-boggling to me that these adults need hand-holding like a chore chart, like we would do for children. Why is it that we have to treat them like this? But by the same token, we're supposed to let them lead and be submissive. It just makes no sense to me. So Soph made this visual. She says, meanwhile, the visual representation of him taking something off her plate. How much do I use? How do I do this? Can you show me? Am I doing this right? This is dumb. Well, if you're going to be like that, I'll just never help anyway, or never help again. I'm sorry. Yes, when you have to create a list and then you have to detail the list down to the extra details, it does become kind of annoying. And it's like, do we have to treat them like they are children? Or are we supposed to treat them like they're the most logical leaders? You got to pick a lane. You can't really act like you can't see and do. And then by the same token, you act like you're the manly man. Like, pick a lane. So this man who believes that Tyler is silly, he was being sarcastic when he says, honey, I want to help. Can you make me a list of things to do around here? And then he showed a picture that has a sink full of dishes. Like, you could just start here by looking at this sink full of dishes and clean them. Bellatrix says, you are not a helpless baby. You're an adult with a functioning brain. Learned helplessness isn't cute. Andy says, I just realized why this was on my mind. Taylor said it first. Taylor says, something interesting that men could try is simply looking around their house. You got eyes, right? And then Andy says, why is writing their list? But, why do we have to do this? You're not a child. Satchel says, men will see dirty dishes in the sink, dirty laundry hampers overflowing, dirt and crumbs all over the floor, expired food in the fridge, an unmade bed, and grime in the shower and say, what can I take off your plate? Like they don't also live in the house and have eyeballs. Ann says, fun fact, women are not born with the ability to know what to do around the house. Maybe be a grown-up and effing figure it out. We aren't your managers. Amanda says, assigning your wife the mental labor that it takes to identify tasks that need doing, prioritize them, and make a list for you so you can then check items off the list and congratulate yourself for helping isn't actually helping. Look around, know what needs doing, do it. El Padrino says, if you don't know what or how to do the chores your wife does too, you're effing worthless. Literally effing worthless. Most of them are basic household chores. And that's where I'm going to end it. Like I said, these people need to figure out, should they be treated like children or should they be treated like adults with functioning brains? It's not a whole lot of in between. There's not a whole lot of in between as far as I see it. We need to start treating them like the adults they claim to be, or stop living with them, because this just seems like it's not getting better. But by the same token, this man, Tyler, I think he's selling something. That's why he posted this, and he got a whole lot of quote retweets, and he was in the comment section a lot. And it seems, like I said, it seems like he's selling something. Anyway, join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.